Let's make this simple chicken dish, but with a fancy gravy. So you start with some potatoes. These are the Yukon Golds, but I prefer the russets for this particular dish. Just a little olive oil and some salt and pepper. We're going to roast these in the oven on my very well loved cookie sheet. You'll see it's almost black. I like to use a grainy kind of salt and, thicker grain. And today I'm going to make them rosemary. So these are the whole seeds like of the rosemary. So you want to rub it and crush it up. Now I do have a mortar and pestle, that I use here and there, but you can just do this too. Thane loves these potatoes. I have the oven super hot at about 450, olive oil on the bottom of the pan, and I'll be flipping them at least once midway. I think I put I think I put too much oil initially on the pan, and I have it in the oven right now getting really hot. So I'm going to bring it out. Then I'll put the potatoes on, and it really gives them a jump start. As you'll see, they'll start sizzling right away instead of sitting on a hot oven, but a cold pan. So this pan is hot. Be really careful. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this, but here they go. They're going on. And just spread them around. Single layer if you can. I know there's a lot of oil, but it's kind of the same as frying them. But because it's hot, it won't soak it up. And here's my little pestle thing. I like to add some grainy salt too. It helps crush things up, especially if you're going to do some garlic. Put a little salt in there. Just pound it out. It comes in useful for doing my chili spices too. I like that. Now, I had some frozen asparagus. These don't look real good, but Thane's going to like them anyway. I probably won't even eat any. Do I want to put the rosemary on that? Nah. I'll put them in later. So I brought out my potatoes. You can see I drained some oil off before I put the asparagus on the tray. And I'm trying to keep that separate. There's enough oil on the pan. And I'll just roast that a little bit more and then keep it warm in there. Just a little bit of salt. You put lemon on your asparagus, lemon pepper. But there is the ground up rosemary with the salt. I'm going to add the rest of it on there because I didn't put a ton on in the first place. So let's take a peek at my chicken next. Real simple. I just literally put a little oil and fresh garlic on. Got the skin nice and crispy. So I'm going to just keep that warm. And there's very little sauce in here or oil that rendered off with that chicken on the bone. But we're going to do something with that. I had all the kids today, all the grandkids, and we made 1.5 pizzas. They love this crust. I make it super crunchy. And so, as not to throw this out, I'm just going to poke some holes in it, throw a little bit of olive oil on it, rub it with some garlic when it comes out. If you don't rub the garlic cloves on your bread, you're missing out. So let me spread that around. Ugh, I got a little bit too much on there too. I'm going olive oil crazy today. Sorry, guys. Get that off. Okay. And then a whole clove of garlic. Okay. And as you can see, this one has a little bit of green growing. Hey, don't throw it away. Just pick that out. What's the difference? Waste not, want not. You know I always say that. But after I toast the bread in the oven, then I'll do this to it. I'm going to rub the garlic on. And the heat of the bread will get the oils of that garlic out, and you will not need garlic salt or anything like that either. It's delicious like that. Okay, onto our pan sauce. Remember in the bottom of the pan here, those little fond, little sticky chicken goodness? So I put some of that in and the drippings. I'm going to make a quick roux. Equal parts of whatever fat is in the pan with equal parts of flour. And yes, I always put too much flour in. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I do. Okie doke. So stir that around. You got to cook the flour taste out. Okay, and it will thicken up, of course, because of the flour. I'm going to do a couple different things with this. And I should not be using this fork on this pan. I should use a plastic utensil. But I'm going to let that flour cook out. And here's our chicken. In a minute, I'm going to show you how I cut it when it's on the bone. I have chicken breast like that. It really gives your chicken flavor, though. Okay, So that's cooked down a little bit. I had then bring up some white wine. And this is the kind that, you would drink, not in the cooking aisle at the supermarket. It's the kind you drink. And that flavor has to cook off too. Now, you might say, Shirley, I don't like wine. Okay, we'll leave it out. I'm giving you options. A good French onion soup uses wine. There's chicken marsala. If it's made right, they do use the marsala wine. So, don't discount it all the time. It gives a good back flavor in my shrimp dishes especially. So, I decided it's a little thick. I want to make it a little more creamy. I'm going to add 1 little tab of butter. The end of your gravy or sauces, if you add a little tab of butter, really can make a big difference. So let me stir that in here, and I'll adjust. But this is giving you ideas for a pan sauce on that really plain, oven-baked chicken, okay? So let's taste it and see what it needs. Just a little bit. Okay, I am going to salt and pepper this. Yeah, and the wine is still cooking off a little bit. You can taste it's a little bit strong, so just a pinch of salt. It's not a lot of gravy in this pan. It's just for these 2 little pieces of chicken. And some pepper. Pepper, pepper, pepper. The kids always say pepper, pepper, pepper. Oop, this is really set on fine. So if you twist that little insert there on your pepper, it, makes the peppercorns come out a little thicker or a little thinner, whatever you like. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm going to make it a little richer. And I'm going to just put a splash of milk in. Now, I could just do all water, but I'm just trying to show different ways. You could just do cream or milk in this and call it a day and just have it like creamy like that. It's still a little thick, so I'm going to add not more milk. I'm going to go over to the sink, and you can look at my dirty stove. And I'm just putting a little bit of water in. See that much water? That's really going to make the difference. Okay? And then we're almost finished here. Pan sauce can be a million different ways. I could have added some aromatics in this first. But based on what was in the chicken and how it came off into the pan, the drippings, gosh, it's got a lot of flavor. Okay, let's cut the chicken. If you do it on the bone, see, it's on the bone, giving it all the flavor. You just want to cut it from here. Straight down. Boom, like that. And you turn it over. And usually there's one more little piece that you missed. And yep, I did. Look, right there. Get out of there. Okay? And this is still hot, but I'm going to cut it just to show you. Now I just have all white meat chicken. Okay? And the bone helped with the gravy, and sometimes it's cheaper too. So, ouch. This is hot. And it's just nice white meat with a very crispy skin. And here's our finishing touch to add to our very plain chicken with our rosemary potatoes and squishy asparagus and garlic bread. So I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.